Hi guys, today we will be seeing one small function in Python which is called as Lambda function. So it is a anonymous, that is nothing but a nameless function that's defined using the keyword Lambda. So here you will simply say Lambda, then whatever arguments you have you just pass it and just give the expression whatever you want that function to perform. So always remember there can be n number of arguments but there can be only one expression. That is at each time whenever you use this lambda keyword and then expression, it will just work as a function for the given single expression. So let's write a first example. Say I want to add two numbers. So how I will say, I will just simply create a lambda function. I'll just define it as lambda. I want to add two variables. So I'll pass two arguments, x and y. And what I want to do is, here I'll write the expression, which is nothing but I want it to do x plus y functionality. Yeah, so I am just storing whatever value is written by this lambda function into a variable add. Let's just call that function. How do we do that? I want to print what? Addition. Between what? Two arguments we are passing, right? X and y. Say I will say 23 and comma 45. Now let's run this. We'll get the answer as 68. So that is how it runs. So this is equivalent. This lambda function is equivalent to the function which we write using the define. So how it is doing is, it's simply this function however we write. This is the what we say a very formal way to write a function, and that is just a simple one line functionality. So the above operation is same as the below operation. So let's see the result for this. Obviously it will be 68. So whatever is happening in this function, I have defined it in just a single line. That is nothing but with the variables, arguments, and the single expression. So this lambda function is widely used with other Python built-in functions like map, filter, reduce, and many more. We will see those in the upcoming shorts. So this lambda function is widely used with map, filter, and reduce functions. So let's try and run it. Let's see it with the map function. So here I have just taken the list of numbers and then here I am applying this map function. So in map you give the arguments as first will be the function on which you want to apply this and then the iterable. So this is how a map function looks like, and when we run this it simply squares all the values whatever are there in num. So this was the simple lambda with map function. Now let's see an example where we use this lambda with filter function. For that I will simply just write this code. Here what I am doing is I have this list of numbers and I am just printing the even numbers from it. So I have defined a function using this keyword lambda, the variable or argument or say parameter x, and a single expression here. Now when I run this we will get the output as only the even numbers from the list. One more important thing is when to use this lambda function. So it's great for one line or throwaway functions, and it's also functional programming with map, filter, and reduce methods. And when there are just small data formations, that time you can use this lambda. I'll suggest you avoid this for any complex logic or any multiple step operations. So whenever there are some multi-step operations, simply use this def keyword. Simply define your function in this way instead of just using a single expression. Now let's see one more example where we are using this lambda inside the another function. So what I am doing is I am just making a simple multiplier, that is nothing but I will make function say as make multiplier and pass the variable n, and what I want to return is some operation which needs to be performed. So here I am defining it in the with the lambda keyword. So this is the functionality which I want to perform inside the make multiplier function. So what happens here is when I run this code, it will just double the input. Whatever input I am passing, it just has to double it. Okay, so this is what we are doing. Here I am passing 2, that's why it is just doubling it. So if I pass 3 here, it will just triple it. So let's run it for 2 first. You got whatever x value was there. What did you pass it? 5, right? So when you pass this double has this make multiplier function, when you pass 5 to it, this 5 will go here to the make multiplier function and then it will just do 5 into 2, that is 10. So if I say make multiplier 3, then we'll get result as 15. That is nothing but 5 multiplied by 3. Hi guys, today we will learn about the built-in Python function that is nothing but filter. So this filter method filters the items in an iterable based on the function that returns true or false. That means we have the syntax something as this filter method, and then we apply it to say the function which we have written and on the iterable which we want the function to get applied. So this is how a syntax of a filter function looks. Okay, now let's just quickly see the example of it. Say I have numbers as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, just for our understanding. So I have this array of numbers. I want the even numbers. How do I apply filter function to it? I will simply say filter and then I will write the function here. So now here we have not defined any function. So there is something called as lambda functions where you can just define your functions in a single line with a single variable and just returns the values. So here I am creating one lambda function where I am saying, okay, lambda apply function on variable x where x mod 2 equals to 0. So this is logic for the even numbers. On what iterable? This is the iterable, that is nothing but our numbers. And then I am just printing the even number list here. So you can see here we got all the even numbers here. So that is how the iterable works. All have mod by 2 equals to 0. That's why. Let me take one more value here. Say I'll add just 3. And now if I run this, you won't see this 3 here because 3 is an odd number. It didn't took it. So that is how. So here you are writing the function whatever you have written and then the iterable on which you want to apply it. Okay, let's define one function by our own and then do it. So here I am defining a function, say positive number, and I'm passing the nums. I am saying if my number is greater than 0, it's written that number itself. So whenever the number is greater than 0, that means it's positive. So we need to this function to return that number. Let me just create one more variable as num here and add some negative value to it. Now I have this kind of array here. Let's see whether it returns the positive number or not. I'll just apply the filter method. So here I will say result equals to, then I am applying what? Filter function. On which function? Positive number. And then what I am doing is iterable here is my nums. So this is my iterable nums. And then I am just simply printing it. So why I am saying this print? I want it in a form of list. That's why I'm just saying print a result and then convert it into the list and then give me the output. Then now when I run it, we can see we'll get only positive numbers from the list as our output. So here we have defined our own function. Then in filter method, we have applied that function and num. So this is how a filter method works here. Hi guys, today we will learn about the Python inbuilt function that is map. So what it does it applies a function to all the items given as an argument in an input list. So what is the syntax for this map? We just simply call it as map and then in bracket again the function on which we need to apply this and comma the iterable here, say nums. So whatever on which iterable do we want to apply this map function, so that and then the function itself. So let's see an example again here. Here I will take something as array nums, which is nothing but again 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Now what I do is here I am applying the map function. I want the square of all the values in the num. So what I will do is I will just take map function. Now here we write the function. So right now I have not defined my own function. So I'll just use the lambda function, which is nothing but a single liner function definitions which we can do. Video for what is lambda function as well. So I'll suggest you guys to go and have a watch at it. So here I am defining it for the square. So for each value here I want the output as square. Okay, so how it will, I will define as I am taking one variable x such that I want output as square of it. So square we defined as square of 2. Okay, so that is how I want my function to return. And on what iterable here is nums. So this is my iterable, that is nothing but the input which I am passing here. Here I want it in a list format. It will be easy to understand. Now let me run this. We will see you have got the squares of all the values which were there in your nums. Let's have something where we are defining our own example here. Let's do similar only. So I'll just define here function and I am just saying it as take a power of 2. That is nothing but square again. Okay, so let me keep it as square only. And I'm passing the argument that is nothing but the list, which is nothing but my nums, which we have defined earlier. This function should return the power, right? So that is nothing but whatever number we have, we are just squaring it, power to the 2. And then I need to call this function. So what I will do is I need to map it. So when I say map in function square, this is my function which I have defined here, right? Square, and my iterable is nothing but nums, and I will just store it in result. So it will be easy for us. Result equals to this. Okay, and then I'll just simply print the result. I am printing it in a list form again. It will again have the same result as above. So just I have shown how you can do this. Whatever function you are defining, you can just apply a map function to it. How? By just passing the function on which you want to apply a map and the iterable along with it. Hi guys, today we will learn about the Python built-in function that is nothing but reduce. What is the syntax for writing the reduce function is function reduce. Here again the function on which you want to apply it and the iterable, okay, on which you want to apply this function. So this is what the syntax is. What it does is, it is for performing some computation on say list or anything, and in result it will return just a single value. Now this requires a library to be imported to be used in Python, functools, that is nothing but function tools. So from function tools I am just importing reduce. Then I have taken one variable that is iterable. This is nothing but the list of our numbers. I want a sum of all the numbers in my list. So again I am defining one lambda function here which just says take a variable x and y such that add them and then show us. So now it will take it from nums. So how it will perform is, from nums it will just take the values first 10 and then 20, then add it, then whatever the addition of these two, add 30 to it, then whatever the addition is of this 3, then add 40 to it. In this way this reduce function works. So now when I run this, you can see the addition of all the elements in this list is nothing but 210, which is exactly what we got. Then let's see where we are defining our own function. Here I will say I will just multiply. Earlier we were doing addition x comma y. So here what I am doing is I am just multiplying it. So this should return what? Simple multiplication, that is nothing but return x multiplied by y. So this is what this function will do. So now let's just call this function. How do we do that? Result equals to this reduce function, and then we call the function on which we are applying it, that is nothing but multiply, right? And on the which iterable? Nothing but numbers, right? So this is the iterable, and then I am just simply printing the output. So here the multiplication of all the element in this nums is printed here. So this is how you can define a reduce function. So this function is widely used in data science projects. So whether it be reduce function, map function or filter function, these three functions play a very important role, whether be it a DSA or any topic where data science comes into picture. So the links to the map function and the filter function is given in the description. Just go and have a look at it. Hi guys, today we will learn about the Python inbuilt function enumerate. So what it does, it simply adds the counter to an iterable and returns it. That means iterable can be a list, tuple or anything. So it will just return it along with the index value. First let's see the syntax for that. How do we do that? You just write enumerate, and then in bracket you just give whatever iterable on which you want to apply this function. If you want to start the indexes with 0, so just say start equals to 0. So it will start the indexing from 0 itself. So this is the default value. So if you want to start indexing with 1, you can just say start equals to 1. As this function is returning index along with it iterable, that's why we need this argument. So this is just optional. If you don't give it, it will take default, that is nothing but 0 based indexing. Okay, so this is how the enumerate function syntax looks like. Now let's write a simple code for it. Here I am taking numbers. So I am just creating a list here, 20, 30, 40, 50. Okay, now I have here the list of numbers. Now what I am saying is, for index, it needs to return index and it needs to return index for the variables in the list nums. And then when I apply enumerate on what? This is nothing but my nums. So here I won't give any indexing because I wanted to start it with 0 itself, the default one. So here I will give for loop, just print index, whatever you have got along with its number. So when I run this, you see for this number, the index is 0. For this, it's 1. 2, 3, 4 in this way. So simply it just returns the index along with its number. It's widely used in all the key value pair operations wherever you have. So that's why it's very, very important to have it. Now let's say I say here, say start indexing from 5. Now let me run this. So when you say the indexing instead of 0 based, it has start from 5. So this will be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is very much helpful in array manipulation part of kind of things. So just have a look at it and just explore around yourself for this enumerate function. So that's all guys. Thank you.